Hello and welcome to India Today and our continuing coverage from the state of Tamil Nadu. What one can expect, we'll just have to wait and watch what happens at 11 a.m. We're getting in some breaking news at this hour. Panneerselvam going to a temple and then he will be heading to the secretariat. So that is the first visit of the ousted Chief Minister, invoking divine help before that very that lies ahead of him. This is in fact an important day for the OPS camp, who has already appealed to the MLAs not to vote for the new Chief Minister who was just recently sworn in. Although OPS camp lacks the numbers, they have been very confident. In fact, OPS himself making some grand gestures, some very grand announcements, saying that he will not allow the Manargudi family to continue at Poes Garden. Let's just see what happens next. Let me go straight across to India Today's Akshita Nandgopal. Akshita, can you just tell us what's happening now? We've just heard that Panneerselvam making his first visit to the temple this Saturday morning before that crucial floor test.
That's right, Avantika. Any moment now, Panneerselvam is expected to step out of his residence. We're already seeing, of course, a lot of activity here. A lot of his supporters, well-wishers have all come together here at his residence to meet him one last time. We saw former MLAs, ministers, MPs, all of them making their way here. As you said, yes, it's being said, of course, that he will be making his way to a temple, to a Ganesha temple in Kottuppuram, and then make his way to the secretariat. But of course, at this point, his camp is yet to speak on exactly what his schedule is. This is what people here have been saying, that he will be heading to Kottuppuram, which is close by from where we are currently at Greenways Road. He will be visiting a temple, praying really for things to go his way, considering today his fate will pretty much be sealed. We'll know whether he will have any sort of future in the AIADMK or not. The coming few hours will really determine the kind of support that he's managed to garner over the last few weeks. We've seen hectic parleying taking place. Panneerselvam on his part has tried time and again to reach out to the MLAs, especially raking up the fact that he has the public support, the fact that public sentiment for him is very, very high, and he's used to that to the maximum. That along with, of course, invoking Amma's blessings, he's of course pushed for maximum support, but many MLAs haven't come out and spoken for him yet. We'll have to see if that changes in the coming hours.
Absolutely. Akshita, thank you so much for joining us. We, of course, will keep coming back to you through the day. It's over now to consulting editor, India Today, Rajdeep Sardesai. Hopefully, Rajdeep, today will be the end to the ongoing political uncertainty, unpredictably, the bizarre situation.
Vanakkam, everyone. Vanakkam, Avantika. That's right. Saturday morning. This is where you will get all the latest on that big floor test that's taking place in Tamil Nadu, a state that has captured the political imagination over the last couple of weeks. Let's bring you the big breaking news that's also coming in at the moment. Instead of using the bus, all the MLAs of the Palanisamy camp have driven out in 30 minister cars from the resort. So Mr. Palanisamy seems to be confident enough that allow the Lal Batti to take over. The convoy has one police escort, 4 car pilots, advanced pilot, and 1 police bus. We are told this bears the stamp of TTV Dinakaran, who clearly is someone who's calling the shots. The nephew of Sashikala, he is believed to be the new power in the throne, the Deputy General Secretary of the AIADMK. He and Mr. Palanisamy have organized the MLAs to come in a escorted motorcade to the assembly. The Lal Batti, a sign of how ministerial power now is perhaps the great lure that will benefit Mr. Palanisamy when that floor test comes. All MLAs being taken for a floor test in Tamil Nadu. The AIADMK MLAs have left for the Tamil Nadu assembly. Let's go now straight to the magic wall. I want to give you the big numbers and then go to all our correspondents who fanned out to all the vantage points in Chennai. Okay. Time to hit the magic wall now and tell you exactly how the numbers are stacking up in this big floor test in Tamil Nadu. Okay. This morning, the war for the Tamil throne is what we are looking at. Now, war for the Tamil throne, the floor test. Let's look at the big numbers. 234 is the strength of the Tamil Nadu Assembly. One is a nominated MP, but he doesn't get to vote. So, halfway mark would be 118. But there are twists in the tail. One seat vacant because Jayalalitha, remember, passed away, and Mr. Karunanidhi will not vote. So 135 AIDMK, they would have in normal times been happy. They would have been over 17. Congress 8, which will probably now vote against the government. We are told after much confusion. DMK has already said clearly they are voting against the government. IUML, part of this alliance, will vote against the government. 8, 89, 1. That's 98 are against it. 135 in normal times would have been for it. But remember, 135 you have to minus Jayalalitha, who's passed away, and Jayalalitha's seat being vacant, so they come down to 134, the AIDMK, and the halfway mark now comes because it's 233 to 117. Also, we are told Mr. Karunanidhi is unwell, he's unlikely to vote, so the halfway mark, so the total strength comes to 232. Remember, the speaker can only vote also in the case of a tie. So therefore, it comes down to 231. Halfway mark is 116. You need 116 present and voting. Present, some MLAs could abstain and bring this number down further. 116. At the moment, how much does the OPS camp have? House strength 231. What is the strength of the OPS camp? Take a look at that magic number, as I said, 116. The OPS camp is claiming the support of 124. They are claiming 124. The question is, can Panneerselvam get to switch at least 8 MLAs away from the OPS camp? He can poach 6 to 8. If he poaches 6 to 8, then that 124 comes down to 116. I'll ask my producer to give that final picture. If he gets 121, the EPS plan is to, that's perhaps wrong, I should make that very clear. It's not 121. The OPS plan, frankly, is simply poach 8 MLAs. The EPS plan is rely on the strength of what he believes is 124. A bit of a mistake there in that graphic, which I'll correct. The OPS plan is, can I get at least 10 MLAs to defect? The EPS plan is rely on the strength of their numbers. Remember, 116 is the magic number, present and voting. Let's go straight across to our correspondents who are joining me at the moment. Akshita Nandgopal is there in Chennai. Rohini Swami in Chennai. All of them are at the various vantage points. Rohini, we are told at the moment that EPS is taking no chances, Mr. Palanisamy. All the MLAs are coming in escorted in cars with lal battis straight to the assembly. So first time they are all leaving the resort finally, coming straight to the assembly. As I said, 121 is what he's confident about. Are there going to be any more defections? There was one overnight defection. Mr. Palanisamy needs at least 18 AIDMK MLAs to vote against this resolution, in my belief. 18 at the very minimum, possibly even 16. But 18 is what he needs. Is he anywhere close to breaking Mr. Palanisamy's grip?
Well, that's what Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy has done, especially when he has had a high security convoy with the MLAs being herded at Fort St. George today. He is hoping that the numbers will continue and he will have those numbers he has been proudly talking about till now. But the floor test is extremely important, Rajdeep, in the sense that with one defection we saw this morning with the Coimbatore MLA also stepping out saying he's unhappy with the leadership. There could be a possibility that there could be many such people or some MLAs who also feel that they're not happy with Edappadi Palaniswamy's leadership. The request for a secret ballot itself shows that they would like to see how many people will be with OPS, how many will be with EPS. But one interesting point I'd like to bring out before we talk about it is the fact that E. Palaniswamy and their MLAs, they did not visit Amma Samadhi as they claim to be people who have been selected by Amma. Whereas on the other side, we also have O. Panneerselvam going to a temple and then invoking Amma's name before getting to the secretariat. Very clearly, this is how Jayalalitha would have done even before the floor test. So a distinct differentiation that he's bringing, saying, I'm the one who's Amma's selected one, I'm the one who's been the chosen one. But at the same time, the convoy that passed by, we did see the confidence in the face of the MLAs, happily laughing and driving down. But at this time, in terms of it comes down to numbers, it comes down to the wires to see how much OPS will get in his favour. 6-7. If Panneerselvam swings in his favour, Edapadi Panneerselvam could lose his seat as the Chief Minister. Or if he maintains those numbers, EPS can continue for the next 4 years.
We should be very clear, and I think that's where I had a problem with our graphic. The fact is, it's not now anymore about EPS retaining his 121. Let me make it clear to our viewers, and maybe our producer can get the graphics right this time. It's 135 are the number of AIDMK MLAs who got voted in the 2016 elections in May. Jayalalitha has since passed away, number comes to 134. The speaker, as I said, who is from the AIDMK, only gets to vote in the case of a tie. Therefore, the number comes down to 133. Now, 116 is the magic number that any side needs to win this election. Therefore, at the very least, 18 MLAs have to defect from 133 to bring the AIDMK down to 115. That is the Panneerselvam camp's one aim. Can they get 18 MLAs to switch? But one key factor is, will there be a secret ballot or not? I'll go to T.S. Sudhir, who will be joining me in a little while on that important question. But Akshita Nandagopal, are we going to have a secret ballot or not? Because if there is a secret ballot, even when a whip is issued, there is a greater chance of someone defecting. Is there any possibility of a secret ballot?
Absolutely, Rajdeep. It really comes down to that as far as the OPS camp is concerned. Yesterday, we saw Panneerselvam's side meeting with the speaker. They've put across their demand for a secret ballot. It's not just them. The DMK too has said that it should be a secret ballot vote. At this point, there's no word on exactly what the voting process will be because the speaker is playing his cards very close to his chest. But if it's a secret ballot, things could take a turn for the worse for Palanisamy. He could be a chief minister for just a few days and have to give up the throne yet again to Panneerselvam. And the reason for that, Rajdeep, at the end of the day, as you pointed out, as far as the numbers are concerned, you know, Panneerselvam just needs 7 more to come onto his side to get that magic figure of 18. And in a case of a floor test, in the case of a secret ballot, that's a very, very small margin that he requires and could get very, very easily, because we have to keep in mind that these MLAs have been cooped up in a resort. Very few have spoken out very vocally saying that they are on Sashikala Natarajan's side, that they are on Palanisamy's side. What about the rest of those MLAs? What are they thinking? Are they going to be voting for Panneerselvam? Those are questions that possibly we'll get answers for in a matter of hours. So if it comes down to a secret ballot, Palanisamy will be a very, very worried man and may even have to give up his chief minister throne, in which case today is not the last day of this drama that we've been witnessing over the last few weeks.
I want to also go straight to Durai Pandian, member legal team AIDMK. Appreciate your joining us, Mr. Durai Pandian. I want to get a reaction from you. It appears at the moment that the numbers are heavily stacked in favor of Mr. Palanisamy. At least OPS, who claims to have 11 MLAs with him, will need another 7 to 8 to defect. I believe you will need 18 defections. Does he have the ability to make 18 people defect, Mr. Panneerselvam? Is that at all possible, Mr. Durai Pandian?
I don't understand what are you coming to say.
I'm saying a very simple thing. The numbers are very much with Mr. Palanisamy at the moment.
Telling. I can't say, because all those people were confined and only now today they are released. Not only that, our leader Mr. OPS Anna was pleased to contact them, contact around 50 MLAs in all the way, by all means. And you know, like we expect a very, very, very reasonable, counting, and also not only that, we are insisting the governor to conduct a secret balloting. Only then, you know, like people, MLAs can come and vote without fear, because since they are encircled with gundas and hooligans, they wait for this chance only. When they come, we will prove our...
You are pushing for a secret ballot. You are pushing for a secret ballot, but there is no guarantee that you will get that secret ballot. Let's be clear. At the moment, there is no guarantee that you are going to get that secret ballot that you are pushing for so desperately. You are pushing for a secret ballot, but you are not possibly going to get it. Narayan Keshwan of The Hindu is joining me.
What is wrong in
No, 1 minute.
What is
you have every right to do
wrong
it.
in a democratic country to ask him?
No, you have every right, but that is left with the speaker, sir. It is for the speaker
Yes.
to decide whether there will be a secret ballot or not.
Yes, right.
Narayan Keshwan of the Hindu is joining me at the moment. Their senior editor. Appreciate your joining us. Narayan Lakshman, appreciate your joining us, Mr. Narayan Lakshman, senior deputy editor of the Hindu. Your sense, Mr. Lakshman, will there be a secret ballot, and will that change the equations in any way? Remember, Mr. Panneerselvam needs at least 7 more additional MLAs to defect.
Absolutely, Rajdeep. You've hit the nail on the head. It is a fragile balance, and everything will hinge on what kind of voting takes place, and that is what Speaker Dhanapal actually decides to institute today on the floor. And we are hearing tentatively, although nothing is confirmed, that there may not be a secret ballot. And honestly, when you analyze it closely, you have to ask whether even if there is a secret ballot, it will lead to the threshold number of MLAs crossing the floor or cross-voting. Because you cannot forget that once again, the AIADMK swept to power last May, and they virtually have well over 4 years of governance left, which is an enormous opportunity and an enormous responsibility, which they cannot shirk easily. Now, as you correctly say, all these MLAs have been cooped up in Kuvatur in the Golden Bay Resort, except for one who we are hearing has actually gone to his constituency, not being certain that he had to vote today. None of them have really spoken or gauged the public mood, apart from snippets maybe that they've heard. So for them, they will be weighing this opportunity to stay in government for 4 more years, vis-a-vis the prospect of facing elections again, which is highly uncertain for them in the current climate, given the mood against the Shashikala faction and Ms. Shashikala herself. So, even if there is a secret ballot, my point is, it is by no means clear that Mr. Panneerselvam has the ability to swing those critical 8 votes in his favor and bring down this government or bring down this faction.
I think you put it well. S. Srinivasan, senior journalist, also joining me. S. Srinivasan, it's obviously important to whether it is a secret ballot or not, but there is the question that Narayan raises, that 4 years in power, that's the lure that Palanisamy can offer. That if you back me today, this government will last for at least the next 4 years, he believes, and thereby you will remain mantris with lal battis. I thought it was symbolic that all of them are coming to the assembly in ministerial cars. Clearly they are already enjoying the loaves and fishes of being ministers. Their first departure from the Golden Bay resorts has been in lal batti cars. We are showing pictures of Stalin and the DMK, which we know will oppose the motion, but the MLAs of the AIDMK are coming in lal batti cars. So they have the advantage.
Yeah, Rajdeep, you're right. Yeah, Rajdeep, you're right. Power is a very strong pull, and that's what could be a glue, which, when these guys were in the resort, that's been, holding them together. But what would the MLAs be thinking before their vote today? OPS called for a conscience vote, whether they go for conscience or they go for more practical aspects of politics. Clearly, none of them have gone back to their constituency, as Lakshman also said, that to find out what is the response from there. If you look across newspapers and other media, it appears that there is a certain hostility against these MLAs, but one doesn't know. It has to be tested out on the ground. The other thing which would be in front of MLAs when they think about this is whether they would like AIDMK government to continue for 4 years, or their action could result in some kind of dissolution of the House, and it's a DMK which gets the advantage, or it could be a sort of a president's rule as well. So that's another aspect they have to think through. The third is, who's the winnability? Can sticking together with Edapadi, can they win the next elections? Can other elections which are going to come in the way, can he pull them all together and give a kind of a momentum? Can he give? OPS seems to be at least now planning to go out to the districts, speak to people and raise some kind of, some kind of a momentum. He has a possibility of building up. So he has that chance, with Edapadi doesn't have. He has administration, but then he has to prove that there is a certain positivity which he brings along by doing a very strong administration. And it's a new thing for him. So
but let me hold you. Let me hold you. The fact at the moment is that the numbers as of now are stacked in favor of Mr. Palanisamy. As of now, We don't know whether 8 more will switch, whether some people will abstain. But the lure of staying in power is a powerful one. Whether Mr. Palanisamy proves to be a vote catcher is a long-run game. At the moment, the immediate task of the MLAs is to avoid the dissolution of the assembly or to avoid a situation where governor's rule is possibly enforced in Tamil Nadu. That perhaps is the worry that some of these MLAs will have. I just want to go to our correspondent Padmaja Joshi, who has been speaking to DMK. Yes, let's listen into what the DMK has to say. Remember, they've opposed completely the idea of the continuance of this government. She's also caught up with the OPS camps, K. Pandyarajan. He had a message for the MLAs in the Palanisamy camp ahead of the vote.
Governor consciously chose this method, and we really hope that the Speaker would give secret ballot.
If tomorrow the numbers go in favor of E. Palanisamy, are you again going to go back to the people? Are we going to see that Jallicut-like moment again?
I think it's already there. If you today see all the 124 constituencies where the agitations were there are over a lakh of people who are hitting the street without even being formally organized. That's the spirit of the movement as distinct from organizing something. So these are things which have got unorganized, but still there were over a lakh of people who are hitting the street today. And in my view, that is the kind of trigger which will force the MLAs to do what is their duty. Our appeal is very simple. Have confidence in Amma and vote against the confidence motion. That's really what we are saying.
So those who will vote for Mr. Palanisamy tomorrow will be insulting Amma's memory?
I would only say stand by Amma, stand by OPS, vote against the confidence motion.
We also want to go to Mr. Sarvanan of the DMK. I'm told that he's also joining us. What is the strand of the DMK? Okay, we'll try and go to Mr. Sarvanan in a moment. But I want to know from you, Padmaja Joshi, you've been tracking what the DMK camp wants to do. We saw pictures of Stalin a little while ago. We're seeing now pictures of the Palanisamy camp ministers and their MLAs coming in escorted vehicles to the assembly. What is the strategy of the DMK? Does the DMK want a situation where Mr. Palanisamy is defeated on the floor of the House?
Well, you know, Rajdeep, it's interesting when you're speaking to leaders of the DMK, they said that their voting against E. Palanisamy should not be construed as a vote in favor of O. Panneerselvam. They just said, we are very certain that in no way are we going to support E. Palanisamy because he does not have the legitimacy to become Chief Minister, and which is why on the floor they're going to vote against him. Just a while ago, in fact, there was this another bit of sideshow that happened over here. Not only did they say that they are going to oppose E. Palanisamy on the floor, but they also walked down this entire stretch led by M.K. Stalin, and their problem was that Stalin's vehicle had been stopped and checked. So they were outraged at the fact that their party leader's vehicle was being checked, so they decided to all get out of their individual vehicles and stage a little protest of their own. In the meantime, also raising slogans against Palanisamy.